Welcome. As an expert in modern hotel operations and performance support, it's my pleasure to welcome all students of Europe Hotel School to this online learning journey. Today, we're going to move beyond the textbook and step onto the high-pressure reality of the front line. Together, we're going to break down the complex scenarios that truly define a career in hospitality and prepare you for the moments that matter most.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start by welcoming you to the front line, where all that theory you've learned meets the real world. Then, we'll dive deep into the challenges you'll face, both with guests and behind the scenes. From there, we'll pull out the core principles that guide every true professional. And finally, we'll talk about you and your next strategic move in the industry.
All right, let's begin. You know, all that knowledge you've gained in the classroom, that's your foundation. But its true value, well, that's revealed when you're under pressure. So right now, we're going to examine several real-world case studies that cashiers and night auditors face all the time, focusing on how seasoned pros navigate these high-stakes moments.
We're starting right where the action is, the front desk. It's really the nerve center of the entire hotel. And the scenarios we're about to look at require this incredible balancing act between delivering amazing service, sticking to hotel policy, and protecting revenue. And you have to do it all with a guest standing right in front of you.
Our first scenario is a classic point of friction, a disputed minibar charge. We've all heard it, right? The guest swears they only open the door to look inside. Now this is a critical decision point. How you first respond can define that guest's entire perception of your hotel's service. Now, the common mistake, the pitfall, is to just remove the charge to avoid a confrontation. It feels easier in the moment, but the professional protocol is much smarter. First, you verify the minibar's sensor logs. Maybe the door was opened a few times. Then you calmly explain the hotel's policy on these sensor-based charges. If they still dispute it, the crucial move is to get a manager involved. This approach doesn't just protect revenue, it upholds your policies and prevents people from gaming the system.
Okay, next up, a billing error. A duplicate charge from the restaurant has been posted to a guest's account, and of course they notice it at checkout, when they're probably rushing to leave. They're upset, and their satisfaction is plummeting. So the question is, how do you turn this negative experience completely around?
This process is where a problem becomes a real opportunity to show your professionalism. The first step, always, is to listen carefully and give a sincere apology. Then, you quickly find and verify the error in the system. Once you've confirmed it, you remove the charge. But, and this part is key, you have to document the correction properly. Finally, you print a fresh, correct folio for the guest. When you follow these steps, the guest leaves feeling heard and respected, and their trust in you and the hotel is actually restored.
Let's shift gears to the night shift. This is where you often have more autonomy, but you also face some really unique challenges. So a guest comes to you in the middle of the night. They say they have an emergency and need to check out early. They're asking for a refund, but your hotel policy is crystal clear about fees for early departures. This is a real test of your judgment.
You really have two goals here. As the night auditor, you're not usually authorized to just override policy on a whim. The professional path is to first express empathy for their situation. Then, you clearly explain the policy and meticulously document the guest's request. You assure them that the front office manager will review it first thing in the morning. This way, you're upholding the hotel's financial rules while making sure the guest feels their situation is being taken seriously.
Now let's pull back the curtain and move behind the scenes. These next scenarios are all about the technical and procedural challenges that are, quite literally, the backbone of the hotel's financial health. This is where the night audit team's precision is absolutely critical.
So, imagine you're running your audit, and you see this on your screen. The system is showing you several rooms are occupied, but they have zero revenue posted for the day. That's a huge red flag. It immediately signals a big imbalance. After a little digging, you realize the day shift just didn't complete the check-in process correctly for these rooms. That's a serious procedural error.
So how do you fix it? The solution is a procedure called manual posting. And this isn't just about typing in numbers. It's a careful investigative process. As the auditor, you have to cross-reference all the reservation details and payment information to manually post the correct room rates to those accounts. This action not only ensures the hotel's finances are accurate, but it also flags a pretty important training issue for management to deal with the next day.
All right, this is probably the most stressful situation for any night auditor. The property management system, the digital heart of the entire hotel, crashes. Suddenly, your reports are incomplete, postings from other departments are missing, and your whole audit process just grinds to a halt.
But here's the one thing you have to remember. When the technology fails, your training and your protocol are what save the day. A professional auditor immediately switches to the established emergency plan. This usually means manually balancing accounts on paper and leaving incredibly detailed notes for the day's shift and accounting teams. By following protocol, something that could be a complete catastrophe becomes just a manageable issue that gets sorted out efficiently the next morning.
So let's take a step back and pull all of this together. We've looked at very different scenarios, right? From guest disputes to major technical failures. But if you look closely, the professional response in every single case was guided by the same fundamental principles.
This is your framework for excellence. These are the 4 pillars that will support your entire career. First, always investigate before you act. Get the facts. Second, know and follow hotel policy. It's your guide, and honestly, it's your protection. Third, communicate clearly and calmly with everyone, guests and colleagues alike. And finally, number 4, document everything. Meticulous records are the key to accountability and smooth handovers. These 4 pillars will never stew you wrong.
So we've analyzed these tough situations, and we've distilled them down to their core principles. But the last step, and it's by far the most important one, is bridging that gap between knowing this information and actually making it a part of who you are as a professional.
I want to leave you with this question to really think about. Which of these scenarios feels like the biggest challenge to you? Is it the pressure of a face-to-face guest confrontation, or is it the technical precision you'd need during a system crash? Understanding your answer will help you focus your preparation as you move forward. Your ability to master these kinds of situations will absolutely define your career. We are confident in your potential, and we truly look forward to seeing you excel.